Hi everyone. A few of you have asked me about exercises that you can do for your osteoarthritis, and you've also asked if walking can just be enough to help slow the progression of that deterioration of your joints. So walking is absolutely wonderful for osteoarthritis. However, our joints love variety, and one of the best things that we can do to slow the progression of the pain that we experience is to add a little bit more variety in the movements that we're doing and be consistent with those new kinds of exercises and moving our joints through a full range of motion. So I've put together a few exercises that you can easily do around the house to incorporate into your routine so that you can have healthy joints for as long as you live. So the first exercise is lunges on the staircase. So you'll see here I've got my foot on the bottom step, and you can use any kind of elevated surface, but just a little elevation below floor level is ideal. So I'm starting with my foot on the bottom step here, and then I'm just going to shift my weight forwards towards that forward leg, leaning over my thigh, and then straightening all the way back out. So lean forwards over the thigh and straighten all the way back out. So 10 repetitions of this exercise a couple of times a week will be really beneficial. If you want to take it to that next level, almost literally, you can add in a little forward lean and step up and balance, or just step to the next step. So you can go back down, forward lean, and step up to the next step. So that's a really wonderful way to take this knee through its full range of motion, and doing 10 repetitions per leg would be ideal, a couple of times a week. The next one is up and overs. So I'm using just a small object here. You can do these anywhere at home and even use something as small as a pair of socks on the floor or a can of beans. So I'm starting up nice and tall, stepping right up and over the top of this object, and then all the way up and over to the other side. All the way up and over the one side of the object, all the way up and over to the other side, and not stepping on a dog in the process. So doing 10 per side of the object a couple of times a week is a great way to add in this range of motion into your hips. This next one you can do just using your kitchen bench. So I am just about an arm's length away from my kitchen bench here, and then I'm standing flat on my feet. I poke my bottom right back behind me, bending at the hip joint, and then I stand all the way up tall. Poke my hips right back behind me. So you'll see I'm bending at my hip joint most of all, bringing my chest forward, but keeping my chest nice and proud. So not rounding my back as I come down, just going down and up. And I do probably about 10 repetitions of this. Up and down, squeezing my butt so you can stand up nice and tall, and making sure that I'm only bending my knees just a tiny bit, not too much with this movement. The focus is on the hips. This next one is a really great one, not only for osteoarthritis, but also for balance. So I would highly suggest having a railing to hold on to, or having a kitchen bench to hold on to for this one. So I'm standing up nice and tall, holding onto the railing here, and I'm just going to walk backwards, making sure I've got no obstacles behind me, using the railing to hold on to. Then I turn around and face the other way, and I'm going to walk backwards in a nice straight line, using the railing to hold on to. Now, if you would like to progress this exercise, we can add in a resistance band. So I have got one right here that I step into, just around my ankles. Now this is definitely a progression, so only take this option if you're feeling up to it. But I keep my feet apart, and I'm going to do a reverse crab walk, walking backwards in a nice straight line, keeping tension through the band. Then I turn around and face the other way, and I go all the way backwards, walking feet wide, squeezing my glutes in a semi-squat position. Now this exercise here is a little bit more challenging than the other ones, so take it cautiously, I suppose. So stepping down your stairs and then stepping backwards up behind you. So you'll see here I've got my hands on the wall just for support. If you're feeling like your balance is quite good, you can do it with your hands on your hips and doing one step up with one leg and then changing sides. So then you'll step up with the other leg. Now this is a challenging one, so definitely take this one slowly. This next exercise here is a side leg raise. So I'm going to be standing up and using my bench to hold on to for balance. So standing up nice and tall, keeping your torso nice and still, and you'll take one leg right out to the side and bring that leg back down. Now to intensify this exercise, you can absolutely place a band around your ankles, and then you'll be a little bit harder to pull this leg out to the side. So I do 10 on one side, and then I turn around and do 10 on the other side, making sure my torso is nice and stable and I'm not really leaning at all from side to side. This last exercise is high knee marching, going right across the body. So using something to hold on to, and knee to opposite shoulder, knee to opposite shoulder. Doing 20 of these a couple of times a week is a surefire way to improve your hip mobility and hopefully reduce the pain that you experience with osteoarthritis. Hopefully you enjoyed these exercises. Please let me know if there are any other topics that you would like me to address in a video, and I'll be happy to film one for you. Thank you all.